This is a video you're definitely going to watch if you want to finance a used vehicle. There's going to be some websites that I'm going to point out and some tips and essentially some tricks that you can use in your benefit to be able to save you thousands of dollars. There's been many times where I go car shopping with friends and family. I show up to the situation and I was able to get, $2,000 to $4,000 off of what they were already negotiated. Now, if you're gonna buy a new vehicle, definitely subscribe and turn on the bell notifications because the next video I'll be dropping is specifically for new vehicles. Now, you can still use some of these tricks and tips, but this is a little bit when you buy a new vehicle, there's different things that you have to look out for. Essentially, at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. So when buying a used car, there's definitely some websites that you want to use to your advantage. That way you know your numbers before you even enter the dealership. That's going to be my first tip, is knowing your numbers before you even walk through the door. If you know your numbers before you even walk into the dealership, that's going to help you so much more because the dealership won't use your ignorance to their advantage to make so much money off of you. Now, there's three websites that I want to point out. The first one is cargurus.com, second one is caredge.com, and the third one and or fourth one, KBB and Addendums. Essentially, those are kind of the same thing. I want to dive into a little bit of each website here. Cargurus.com is essentially a website that you can go and it has a list of all the vehicles that are for sale in your general area. What it does is essentially gets information from all the dealerships around and generalizes a price as far as what the vehicle that you're looking for is worth. And then within that specific vehicle, it tells you if it's a good deal, it tells you if it's a bad deal, and then you can use that to your advantage. A lot of people say that you can't negotiate cars off of cargurus.com, but that's not true. Again, I've worked in a dealership for over 5 years and I've seen many scenarios. So there's not a one shoe fits all type of scenario, and don't really listen to the person that's trying to sell you because again, at the end of the day, they're just trying to make the most amount of money as they can on you because that's their job, right? Like, you can't get mad at them for trying to make money on you because that's what they're there to do for the business that they're employed by. Don't get offended. Definitely keep your cool, because the moment that you lose your cool and you start to get your emotions involved is the moment that you start to lose. So cargurus.com is a website that shows you price points of the vehicles that you're kind of looking into to tell you if it's a good or a bad deal. Now, the second one is caredge.com. Caredge.com, you're able to put the information of the specific vehicle that you're looking for, and then it'll give you a general idea as far as what that price is. So again, all these websites are price point websites to tell you what you should be paying for the vehicle that you want to get into around the market value, right? Same thing with KBB and Edmunds.com. And I'm going to go ahead and link all these websites in the description below. It makes it a lot easier for you to check them out. They're not affiliated links. They're just links that you want to use again to your advantage. KBB and Edmunds.com, you can put in the VIN number of the vehicle that you're specifically looking for. And again, it'll tell you what the market value is. It'll tell you what trade-in value is. And that's a general idea as far as what you maybe should be paying for a vehicle and or getting for your vehicle if you're going to trade it in. Personally, I would never trade in a vehicle unless you're upside down. And again, personally, probably financing a vehicle, I know if you guys heard me say it on my other videos, it's probably not the best idea. But again, there's many situations and scenarios to where you may have to finance a vehicle because some of us are living paycheck to paycheck, and that's totally understandable. And I know some of us may be in that beginning point where we may not have a lot of money in our bank accounts. This is not a YouTube channel where you hear all these other guys talking about unrealistic situations. So I know realistic situations might mean that you may have to finance a vehicle. And if you're going to do that, obviously we want to save you thousands of dollars to where it's not going to put you in a bad position. That is the goal. Using those websites is going to help you do that. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is the addendums, the dealer ads. Now, the dealer addendums are basically add-ons that the dealership adds to the price of the vehicle to be able to get you to pay more. So you may see paint protection on there. You may see nitrogen within the tires. You may see window tint. Now, when these used cars come into the lot, they don't strip the window tint and put new window tint on there. If they do, they're absolutely lying to you. Don't believe them. They don't put nitrogen inside of the tires. If they do, they're absolutely lying to you. All they do is they switch the little tire caps, that says nitrogen in them. If they put maybe a device on there for security, some dealerships do that. But again, all these things are just profit for the dealership because they don't really put the labor into it 90% of the time. Dealer addendums never pay for them. And another thing that you want to look out for is the fees. So obviously we have to pay for tax, title, and licensing of the vehicle and dock fees. But within those fees, there's state tax fees and there's other fees. And you really have to pay attention to these fees, which should tell you within that paper that you're presented. Because I actually had a dealership. I was going with my friend to buy a vehicle and the dealership presented the numbers. I told them we're not paying for addendums. They went back to take the addendums off. And then I saw that they were charging me about $1,500 for tags on a Camry. Camry tags are about $200 to $300. I pointed it out. I said, what's this $1,500? And it was a typo. And this is what I mean when I say that you should know the numbers before you even walk into the dealership, because you should know what the tags are. You should know what your taxes are going to be for the market value of what that price point is for that vehicle that you're looking to get into. Because if you're going in for a Camry and all of a sudden you fall in love with the Accord, you need to realize that those vehicles are typically around the same price point, which should not put you too far off of the numbers that you already have inside of your mind. Now, when you have the numbers figured out, the last thing that you want to look into is the financing. If you have a pre-qualification with the credit union, which is probably the best way to go, then definitely go that route. But it doesn't always mean that pre-qualifications give you the best interest rates. If you're going to finance a vehicle, take a hit on your credit. I hate to say it, but have the dealership run your credit to see if they can beat any pre-qualifications that you may have. I've financed vehicles before and they definitely have been able to beat interest rates for pre-qualifications that I've had. The last thing that I want to point out is if you're not comfortable with buying the vehicle at that specific time, you can always take the numbers, get up, walk away, and think about it. Yes, you risk the potential loss of that vehicle that you're currently negotiating, but that's why they make hundreds and thousands of that same specific vehicle. You can find another one. Do not be intimidated. Do not let any dealership force you into buying a vehicle. If it's a great deal, it's a great deal. If you don't know if it's a great deal, message me on Instagram, send me the numbers, and then I will tell you if you're getting a good deal or not. My Instagram is Adam Solis, ADAMSOLIS. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. And again, remember, don't let the dealership force you into buying the vehicle at that specific time. If you need to think about it, definitely get the numbers, get up, walk away, come back an hour, come back the next day, because you don't want to let your emotions override you. You definitely want to think about these situations, because buying a vehicle is the second largest purchase that a person makes, obviously a home being the first one. So it's not something to take lightly. It's something that you definitely should think about. So I hope these tips and tricks definitely helped you out. If you have any questions, comment down below. And until next time, love you guys all. Peace.